Uriah, Showtime, Ronda Rousey. I'm going to start it up, just get things a little warmed up, but it's all about you guys. We want to hear questions from you guys. Please be interactive. Please show these men and women your love, New York City. All right, I just want to ask Uriah a quick question before we start. Give him the props first, guys. I hope you don't feel slighted. You just fought recently. What did you think of your performance? You beat Scott Jorgensen. Very impressive. Good friend of yours. Who do you want to fight next?
I don't know. There's a lot of things happening in our division. Waiting on Cruz to see how he can recover. He's kind of a fragile guy, you know. So hopefully he can tape it up. We have Hanan Barao and Eddie Wineland are going to fight, and I just kind of want to kick back and relax. I fought a lot in the last 8 weeks, so it's time to chill and kind of watch how things pan out. And I'll fight anybody.
Alright. Now, Showtime, we just saw a good friend of yours, Benson Henderson, fight live and free on Fox this past Saturday. A very interesting fight. Tough win against Gilbert Melendez. Some thought he won, some thought he lost. Who do you think won?
It's hard to call. Initially, I thought Gil won, and then I seen the stats, and it's one of the fights anybody could have won, and I don't think anybody would have had an argument, about it. So, very close fight. One of the fights that I definitely want to have in the future, but right now I got my sights on Jose Aldo, tough guy in front of me, and got my work cut out for me.
Looking forward to that fight. It goes down August 3rd, by the way, in Rio de Janeiro. If anyone wants to come with me to Brazil to watch the fight, we'll talk about it after this. All right, I see a couple people. Now, Ronda, a lot of people here in attendance today are going to the fight on Saturday in Newark, New Jersey. Prudential Center, of course, UFC 159. There's the third women's fight taking place on that card. Sarah McMahon versus Sheila Gaff. Who do you like in that fight? For those that may not know about Sarah and Sheila, who are you kind of excited about?
I think I'm most excited about Sarah. She's the other Olympian. She's a silver medalist in 2004 in wrestling, and she also has an undefeated record right now. And I've had my eye on her for a while. We actually started amateurs right exactly at the same time, so we have identical records at the moment. So I don't really know much about Sheila Gaff at all, so this is going to be a really, really cool fight just to see, learn a lot about her in general, and see what else I can learn from Sarah this other time around. But I love it. It's becoming like a regular thing that all these girls at these events, like, one after another. It's not an anomaly. It's becoming normalcy.
Yeah, it's not a big event anymore. It's just part of the card. They deserve to be there as much as anyone. And as I said earlier, the women are taking the UFC by storm. If you haven't noticed, you better start noticing great stuff happening. All right, now it's about you guys. You can ask them whatever you want, however you want. Ronda, Showtime, Uriah. Who's up first? Who wants to ask a question?
This question. Nope. This question for Showtime. If you were to get the belt against Jose Aldo, would you try to maybe unify that and try to get the belt from Benson, or you can stay at the weight?
Man, in a perfect world, I'd be the option right there, man. But I don't think the UFC is gonna allow that to happen right away. I think I would have to defend a couple times, and I think me and Benson have a match in the making, man. He keeps winning, I keep winning. We're gonna beat each other.
I told Anthony earlier, by the way, that if there's one fight I could dream about, if there's one fight that I could pay $1 million to watch this year, it's him versus Benson too. I'd love to see that.
Well, we can set that up right here for $1 million.
All right, I'll talk to this man at 5 o'clock, Dana White. Who's next?
Hi, this question is for Ronda. I also did do judo in college, and I've been doing martial arts since I was a kid, and I kind of let the odds kind of succumb me and gave it up because it was looked at as being like a man's sport. How did you keep that motivation going and just, I know your mom was definitely your inspiration as well, but that's just amazing how you just kept it going to the point where you just made milestones and just dominated the sport. Just brought women to the front line for this, and it's just a great accomplishment. How did you keep that motivation?
It wasn't easy all the time. I think the hardest part was having everyone around me tell me that it wasn't possible. And I think the one thing I would say is just don't allow yourself to be discouraged. And don't allow everyone else around you to form your own opinions. And if I listened to everybody else, I wouldn't be standing here right now. And sometimes you just need to be willing to take the criticism of those around you and go after what you really want.
Who's next? A lot of people.
All right, Hi, this question is for Ronda. You're going to be entering the Tough House as a new coach now. How do you feel that it's going to be mixed men and women? How do you plan to like really just make yourself not such like, oh, I'm just a female coach, but like I'm a coach and you need to respect me? How do you plan on doing that, especially with the men who might kind of feel that, oh, I don't really want to coach with you, even though, and by the way, I love you to death.
I mean, I don't know. Why would they really sign up for the show unless they're willing to be coached by women? It's not like they showed up to the tryouts. They're like, hey, guess what, guys? Guess what we got for you this year? It's a bunch of chicks. Like, they know it. So I think the kind of men that would go out of their way to try out for a show like that, it already speaks volumes to the kind of acceptance that they have. And you know what? If the guys on my team, if there's some of them are a little bit disrespectful, they don't want to work with me, I don't have to help them if they don't want my help. But I don't really think that they'll do very well in the show. They don't accept any help. So we'll see. There's a lot of this is really new. I don't really know what to expect. So I'm making a lot of this up as I go along. I'm always making this up as I go along. Does it look like I know what I'm doing right now? Yeah, that's it.
And by the way, they held the tryouts for the 18th season of The Ultimate Fighter last week, and Dana White said he was blown away by the women that showed up for the tryouts. And that premieres September 4th on the brand new Fox Sports 1. It's Speed Channel now. It becomes Fox Sports 1 September 4th. Ronda and Kat Zingano will be the coaches. Stay tuned for that. Who's next?
Hey, how you guys doing? This question is for Mr. Anthony Pettis. Anthony, I've been a big fan of yours from the WEC to the UFC right now, and a lot of people wonder why is it you switched to Jose Aldo instead of fighting Ben Henderson when that first fight alone was the best match and the last match of the WEC?
A lot went into that decision. One being that Jose could have moved up to 55 anytime, and Jose Aldo versus the champ now would have bumped me again. So I've been bumped so many times for getting a belt. I'm tired of waiting, and Jose Aldo's pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. That's intriguing to me, and I'm here to fight the best. So like I said, me and Benson will eventually happen, but Jose Aldo is the guy that shows the fight right now.
Here's a fun little storyline. I don't know if I'm still on. Am I still on? I just like to talk, guys. I don't know if you've noticed this. This man right here actually fought Jose Aldo way back when. If you can give Anthony one piece of advice on how to fight him properly, how to beat this man, what would you say?
I think he's done the preparation already to what he needs to do. I mean, Pettis is actually a guy that matches up really well with Jose Aldo just because they're both very, very athletic guys that are big for the weight class, and they're both striking first. So I come from a wrestling background, Pettis comes from the striking background, and Jose Aldo was able to take advantage of some nasty kicks, and I don't think that's going to affect Pettis as much. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Who's next? We'll get you guys, don't worry, we'll get you.
My question's for Uriah and Ronda. I know when you were the coach on The Ultimate Fighter, you were starting that rumor that she was the one that tore Dominic Cruz's ACL. I was just wondering if there was any truth to that.
They say about rumors that may or may not be true. You're going to have to ask the source.
You are the source.
Yeah, I am the source. Yeah. No, that was a joke, and I actually told Dominic, but she thought it was funny at first, and then later he was bitching and moaning about it on an interview. I'm like, come on, man. It's a joke. It's pretty funny, though. And I told Ronda, too. Just trying to get her some exposure. At work,
I appreciate that.
She's blown up. Now she can help me get some exposure.
now everyone thinks I'm an assassin. I didn't know that. My Twitter just blew up for days at a time. Everyone's like, why would you do that to Dominic? And like, literally, I had to do that for a week. I ran into your dad. I was like, your kid hijacked my Twitter for a week.
Right, got to keep her in the game there. Her and Dominic, good matchup there. I like to see that one.
Were you being an instigator there?
Yes.
Very well.
Learn from the best.
Who's next?
Big fan of all you guys. I was listening to the Joe Rogan Experience yesterday, and GSP was on, and he basically said, in the past, he wouldn't have just done martial arts and I guess bodybuilding. If he could have gone back, he would have done maybe track and field and gymnastics. With him being so dominant, all these past couple of years and just fighting and not getting into any compromising situations. Do you guys look to him and look and see what he's doing to maybe incorporate in your training camp, to maybe be just as successful as he was or is?
Go first, Uriah.
I haven't done too much in-depth research on what he's doing. I think one thing that he's done really well is just take the athleticism very seriously. You know, everybody's training the applied martial arts, and it makes sense to train jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, because that's what we're actually doing out there. But I think GSP was the first guy to really focus on becoming a super duper athlete first with his physical training, and I think that's caught on quite a bit.
I think it's a part of a body style too. I mean, all of us have different body styles. Some styles don't fit for long, lanky guys compared to short wrestler guys. I mean, so and again, genes. I mean, he's a super freak. He's a very good athlete. So I mean, we all can't train the same way. We all have different fighting styles, and to be yourself, you gotta do your own thing.
I think Mr. Pettis did it very well. We all have a lot of very different styles, but I respect GSP very much as an athlete and as a businessman, and I think that the best thing that he's done in preparation for his fights is he's made it into a very professional, a very structured camp, and that he's always the utmost professional when he comes into fight, and he's always at the peak of, I think, the physical peak he could possibly be. And I think there's a lot of fighters out there that they fight operating on very little of their maximum potential, and I know that GSP comes in always at his full potential.
GSP is very high on gymnastics, doing gymnastics prior to his fights. Have you ever done that to prepare for a fight?
No, I haven't. People ask me all the time if I've done gymnastics, but in judo I kind of figure as being very, very similar to gymnastics. It's just like you're trying to do flips with the other person trying to mess you up at the same time. So they're similar, but I'm kind of big for a gymnast, I think.
Well, he's 170.
It's true, but I think he might be shorter than me. I don't know.
Those heels on.
Who is next?
This question is for Showtime. Have you tried the test cut down to 145 yet? And if you have, how do you think it's going to affect your performance?
I'm in the process right now of doing that cut. I'm going to do it 2 months out. First week of June, I'm going to be doing the first cut to 45. We'll see from there. I mean, once I get down to 45, I'll see how I feel. And I'll go back to my camp, see what we have to change up, see what we have to add. And I'm taking this super serious, man. I only get these shots once in a while, so I'm definitely doing a pre-cut, and I'll see how I feel down there.
My question is for Anthony Pettis. My brother wants to know if you're prepared for Aldo, and what are you going to do to avoid the leg kicks?
Get it prepared for Aldo now, and like I said, I come from a striking background, so I've been getting kicked at my whole life since I was 5 years old, so I don't think it's going to be anything different. I know he comes with the intensity like most others don't, but I just can't be afraid of it. I got to embrace he's going to be low kicking me, I'm going to be hitting him back, and it's going to be 2 great athletes in there, and whoever's the best is going to win.
Alright, I have 2 questions for Ronda. One is, when are you going to show off your boxing skills? I know you've been practicing that. They show that in the videos, Big Bear. And 2 is, how do you envision the Cyborg fight eventually down the road?
I have been showing my boxing skills. Not getting hit is striking too. And we practice striking a lot more than anything else, but we don't do it to make me into the next boxing Muay Thai sensation ever. We strike the most to make me into the best grappler possible, most effective grappler possible. And so a lot of the boxing stuff were like closing and clinching and kind of like more defensive boxing. It just works so perfect for judo because a lot of the takedowns come from upper body clinching. So they're just different styles and they fit together really, really well. And the fight with Cyborg, when it comes around, and it couldn't come around soon enough, but I don't know. I prepare for every single possibility for every fight, so I would train for that fight as if it was going to be like a 5-round war, and I'm just going to aim to finish as quickly and efficiently as possible. We always prepare for the worst and aim for the best.
Hey, how you doing? My question is for Anthony Pettis. How do you feel you're going to do against Aldo? And I think that you're going to knock him out personally, so
Man, we feel the same way. I'm always going for a knockout. I don't like decisions. I'm always on the bad end of the decision. So for me, I'm looking to finish that fight. It's going to be a tough one to do, but and I go in there and I train right and get ready for the right things. I think I can do it.
Going to enemy territory, fighting him in his home country of Brazil.
I actually fought Ben Henderson in his hometown, and I did very well in there. So I'm going to Brazil next week to do some training. We'll see how I feel out there, and I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I don't mind it at all. I think I have fans in Brazil also, and it should be fun.
Who will you be training with in Brazil?
Diego and Daniel Moraes, some of the training coaches that I've actually had some time with too. Some great jiu-jitsu guys, and they welcome me to their home and their camp, and it should be fun.
That's interesting. Who's next? I think there was some guys over here.
Hey guys, big fan. Quick question. What's your opinion about automatic title rematches? I know in the case of Anthony, this sort of affected you directly with was it Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar when you became the WEC champion and came over to the UFC? I just want your personal opinion on that. Do you support it? Is it circumstantial? What do you think?
What? It actually happened twice for me against Maynard and Edgar, and then Edgar and Henderson. And it kind of puts the rest of the division at a logjam. I think that's why I made the decision to go to 45. I mean, I'm tired of waiting for a title shot, and it's all up to the UFC, man. What they think is right to happen, and they call the fights. We just go out there and train and do our best.
Yeah, it just depends on the circumstance, I feel like there has been a case where you couldn't really tell who the winner was, and sometimes you want to see that fight again, sometimes you don't. I personally feel like Pettis in that situation should have had a shot many times before some of these other guys that got instant rematches, but I may be biased because I've trained with the guy and I know how good he is.
Hi, my question's for Ronda. Well, I am big fans of all of you guys, but Ronda, just wondering, have you selected your coaching staff yet for Tough?
Yeah. So far, I have a couple guest people that have come in that I think will be really, really cool. We'll see if it pans out. But my coaching staff is mostly just a bunch of Armenians and me, the way it usually is in the gym. So it'll be an interesting mix. We're a very unconventional bunch. So it's funny. A lot of people don't catch that dynamic with all those behind the scenes stuff. So it'll be funny to give people a glimpse of what we're really like when we're training.
My question is for Pettis at least. Hypothetically, let's say you beat Aldo and for the title, would you be willing to be sort of a double title holder in both 45 and 55?
For sure, man. I mean, like I said, that's in a perfect world. And I beat Aldo. They let me fight Henderson for the lightweight title. That would be a dream come true. But I have to get through Aldo first, man. I got my workout cut out for me. I can't look past Aldo. I can't think about 155 anymore. I'm a featherweight right now, and that's what I'm focused on.
Hypotheticals. I was just wondering, have you guys heard of the Battle of the Sexes in 1971, I believe it was? Bobby Riggs had a tennis match. You're familiar with this, Ronda? Billie Jean King, of course, tennis match. I was wondering, I was just sitting here daydreaming. You fight at 135, you fight at 135. Wouldn't that be something, a sort of exhibition battle of the sexes, two of the greatest of all time, same weight class? And if so, right? That would be awesome. At MSG, right down the street. Who would win?
I would love to let Ronda throw me around anytime. I think you all know that. And throw in a bathing suit and some gelling. Let's do it.
You're such an instigator, man. Yeah, I think I'd be down with it as long as I could pick your guys' outfit.
Wow. All right. We're on to something, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the questions. Congratulations to Anthony Pettis, the newest member of Team Metro. Ronda Rousey, she is going to be on The Ultimate Fighter Season 18. August 3rd for this man against Jose Aldo. And this guy's just a cool guy who just had a big win a couple weeks ago. Kenny Florian, everyone.
Thanks, guys.